Okute was an ordinary mouse living with his family beneath the floorboards of the royal palace. Life wasn't easy, but it was home. They lived cautiously, scouring in shadows and avoiding traps. His parents always warned him, "Humans are dangerous, Okute. Stay hidden." But one day, curiosity got the better of him. Okute ventured out into the dim palace corridors in search of food. When he returned, a horrifying sight awaited him. His nest was destroyed, his family gone. The faint smell of poison lingered in the air. Okute's tiny heart shattered. He could still hear the human voices echoing above. "They are all gone," one guard laughed. Prince Uche made sure of that. Paid the rat catchers well, you know. Okute's grief quickly turned to rage. His entire family, his parents, his siblings, wiped out on the prince's orders. He vowed to avenge them no matter the cost. In his desperation, he sought out Ure, a mysterious mouse witch who lived deep in the forest. Ure was known for her powerful magic, and Okute knew she was his only hope. "I need to become human," Okute pleaded. "Grant me the power to make the prince pay for what he's done." The ancient witch regarded him with glowing eyes. "You wish for vengeance," she said, her voice heavy. "But revenge is not without a price." I'll pay it," Okute said without hesitation. Ure handed him a potion, shimmering like liquid fire. "This will turn you into a human," she said, "but only for 3 days. Return to me before midnight on the 3rd day, or you'll remain human forever." If you haven't subscribed by now, this is a perfect time to touch that subscribe button. Thank you. Now let's proceed. Okute took the potion and drank it without a second thought. Pain seared through his body as his tiny frame stretched and twisted. When it was over, he stood as a young man, tall and strong. His fur was gone, replaced by skin, but the fire in his eyes remained. The first challenge came almost immediately. Okute found himself in a bustling market. Overwhelmed by the noise and chaos, his stomach growled painfully. Becoming human had left him famished. He wandered aimlessly until he stumbled upon a fruit stall run by a kind young woman named Adani. She noticed his disheveled appearance and approached him. "You look like you've been through a lot," she said. Okute hesitated but quickly fabricated a story. I was traveling, but I was robbed. I have nothing left." Adane's expression softened. "Here," she said, handing him a basket of fruits. "Take these, and if you need a place to stay, my hut isn't far." Okute accepted her kindness, though he felt conflicted. Adane's generosity was unlike anything he had experienced from humans. That night, as he rested in her humble home, his thoughts returned to his mission. He had no time for second thoughts. The prince had to pay. The next day, Okute joined a traveling music troupe heading to the palace. It was his ticket inside. Disguised as a performer, he slipped into the courtyard with the group. The palace was grand and intimidating, but Okute's focus was unwavering. Then he saw him, Prince Uche, lounging on the porch, carefree and smug. The man who had ordered his family's death. Okute's hands trembled as he grabbed a knife from a servant's tray. Step by step, he approached the prince, his heart pounding. The world seemed to blur around him. This was his moment. But just as he raised the blade, a voice screamed out, "Stop!" It was Adane. Before Okute could react, guards swarmed him, dragging him to the ground. The knife clattered away. "An assassin!" one guard shouted. "To the dungeons!" As Okute was hauled away, he caught a glimpse of Adane, her face pale with shock. The dungeon was dark and cold, the air heavy with despair. Okute sat chained, staring at the silver of the moonlight creeping through a small window. Midnight was fast approaching, and he was running out of time to return to Ure. Then he heard footsteps. It was Adani. Why? She demanded. Why would you try to kill the prince? Okute looked away, unable to answer. How could he explain the truth? That he wasn't even human? You wouldn't understand, he said, finally. Adane's eyes filled with frustration. Then help me understand. But Okute stayed silent. As the guards changed shifts, Okute saw his chance. Using a loose brick in the cell, he broke free of his chains and slipped out of the dungeon. Midnight was minutes away, but before he could reach the gates, Adane appeared, blocking his path. Wait, she cried. Please tell me the truth. Okute stopped, torn between escaping and explaining. Finally, he spoke. I am not human, Adane. I'm a mouse. The prince killed my family and I wanted justice. Adane stared at him, her expression a mix of shock and pity. I've seen the worst of humans, Okute said bitterly. But you're different. Adane stepped closer. Revenge won't bring them back, Okute. Don't let hate consume you. You can start over. Stay here and we'll figure it out together. As the clock struck midnight, Okute made his decision. He threw the antidote vial to the ground, letting it shatter. He would remain human, not out of hate, but because of the kindness he had seen in Adane. In the moments that followed, Okute and Adane built a new life together. He helped her with her fruit store, and through her influence, even Prince Uche began to change. No longer did the palace use poison or traps. Humane methods replaced cruelty. Okute still mourned his family, but he found peace in knowing that their deaths had led to something better. Moral of this story? Revenge is a heavy burden. Sometimes the greatest courage is found not in fighting the past, but in choosing to build a future. Let me know what you enjoyed the most about this story, and most importantly, what you learned from this story. Thank you.